video. So, hi guys, welcome back to another episode of In the Kitchen with Coach Dave. This time we're doing something a little different. We're in the gym this time, and we're actually with a fan of the show and fellow member Danielle Clark. Danielle, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Danielle contacted us and said that she wanted to share with you some of the things that she does to help food prep. So you do take some of the recipes that we share.
Yes, of course.
And she kind of does a little bit of her own spin on it. And I thought it was unique because she was telling me before the show started that members have contacted her and actually you kind of help them food prep and all that. So why don't you take us through that?
So I've actually talked with quite a few members who don't know where to start when they're deciding to meal prep and they're trying to figure out why. A lot of the restrictions come down to budget, or I don't have enough space, or I don't have the time. And so I kind of break it down to a simple process so that you can make the most of your time, the most of your budget, and eat a lot healthier.
I like that. So just real quick, how do you do that?
So first thing we're going to start with is coming in and talking with a coach.
Okay.
I recommend that first off when I'm working with somebody. I want people to figure out what their goals are, what their calories are supposed to be, what their macros are, just so they have an idea of where to start. I personally started with Coach Nina and then worked with we got my numbers from If It Fits Your Macros. And I kind of moved things around when it worked to my schedule, kind of take notes, and then kind of go from there. And so people often ask me, like, how do you figure out what you want to eat, or how do you know what is going to be good enough for you? And so I try to make a list of all clean foods first, and you can look those up. You just Google clean foods, they give you a full list.
It's pretty easy.
Plenty of things you can do. And then just to simplify, I like to pick 2 to 3 proteins, 2 to 3 veggies, and 2 to 3 carbs for my week.
I like it.
Just to start out nice and simple, and you can get more adventurous as you go on. People always ask me, like, does it get monotonous or boring? But you can do so many things with different spices that don't add a lot of calories.
Correct.
So that's kind of my big push. And so that's kind of where we start.
Like you said, does it take a lot of time? It kind of does, but you kind of get into a routine. And what I like to tell people is it does take work to food prep. It does take time to cook your recipes, but it's worth it. Like, if you want to be healthy, you got to take that step to it.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you're eating junk food, we're eating out every day, or we're eating fast food, and that's not good for you, especially if you're fueling your workouts or if you have certain goals. You don't want to be doing that. So this week you actually had a plan of what you're going to do for your food prep?
I did. So the first thing I start with, after I get my calories and everything, I make a very basic list of what I want to eat throughout the week.
Smart.
So I come up with a breakfast, a lunch, second lunch because I'm a hobbit, dinner, and then my snacks, of course. And so originally I'm going to go down and just write down the foods that I want to eat. Again, the protein, the veggies, the carbs, and then I'm going to put those into a food log program. I use my MyFitnessPal just to start out with. Creating my meals just with basic numbers, because they're going to ask for your numbers, and then I'm going to go through and see how it fits my plan, how it fits my macros, and then I can adjust the amounts of food in each meal to make everything balance out. And then the important thing to do when you're logging those foods to figure out your meal plan, don't forget about your coffee, don't forget about your protein shakes, or your snacks, or your BCAAs, or whatever you're going to put in.
Or the oils that you use to cook.
Exactly.
A lot of people forget the oils that they cook with. Yep. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Danielle's actually going to go, we're going to go shopping with Danielle. So we're about to leave, we're going to go shop, and then we're going to show you how we kind of put that together. We'll show you the end results of everything we planned, and we'll present Danielle's food prepping and how she plans her week, so you guys can kind of get a plan for that. And Danielle, are members allowed to ask you if they need help to approach you? I know that you've kind of hosted people in your kitchen before, so.
Yes, I think I've up to like 15 or 16 members that I've helped with their prep, and please come ask. Again, ask a coach. There are plenty of people, and when you're starting meal prepping, it's kind of fun to do it with a buddy.
Absolutely.
The buddy system is great. You can swap meals and get the community involved.
All right, we're going shopping. We'll see you later.
All right.
All right, guys, we're in Danielle's kitchen now. So she just went shopping. She got all her food preps, and we're gonna put it into action now. So what do you have planned for us? Some meals?
Today we've got rice and turkey and peppers, and then rice and chicken and broccoli and carrots.
Okay.
And then turkey, sweet potatoes, and green beans.
Awesome. So we're going to show you what she's got and how she preps it, and then we'll see you next week.
So today we've got sweet potatoes and green beans and a little bit of ground turkey with some Italian seasoning. I like to try to divide things up so that I have equal amounts of my veggies and my protein, and then usually my carbs are a little bit smaller. The next one I've got is rice with ground turkey and then bell peppers and onions. You can also, instead of using rice, take like a small fajita or something like that and kind of make that style if you wish. And then we've got the plain and simple veggies and chicken and rice. This is a staple in my kitchen. Super easy. You can change your seasonings up, change up your veggies, change up your kind of rice so it doesn't get too boring. So that's what we got. Oops, sorry.
All right, so we had a visit today with Danielle. You can see what she was cooking, how she had a plan, and how she came up with that. She wrote it all down, so she had the plan when she went to the grocery store, and then she put it into action. And we talked about this all the time, and Danielle's kind of speaks to this a lot, is having the plan.
Yes, definitely.
So that you make better decisions and you're not starving, and you run out and have to go through a drive-thru.
Right.
So, because that's when we make those bad decisions. So how do you do it? You usually put them in the fridge, in the freezer, and grab and go?
I actually bought a mini deep freezer last summer just because I knew I wanted to meal prep, and it makes it easier for me to stockpile, especially when meat's on sale or whatever. I can get what I need, and so everything I have is stockpiled and makes extras every week so that I have a variety.
So then you just grab and go and you don't even have to worry about
Exactly.
it. The hardest part about meal prepping is just finding the time.
Time and not knowing where to start, I think.
It's true. So I know that you've reached out. We've already mentioned that before. If you want to meal prep, I think Danielle would be certainly happy to help you at least get started with that aspect. Thanks for visiting Danielle's kitchen. We'll see you next week. And remember to hashtag us within the kitchen at Coach Dave. And if you're wanting to share a meal with us, we'd certainly like to see what you're cooking. And we'll see you next episode.